And I got that energy for that line. Sitting in traffic in New York City on the FDR drive. Father would say the FDR drive. And I would always tease him, like, come on, it's not aura, it's R. And, you know, he's an old man, so he ain't gonna. I'm thinking about this reality, you know, driving through this traffic and looking out at, and the way there was just some patches completely still like glass, other patches of the water that was moving and flowing, and this waterway is here. And this is the FDR Drive, which is the Harlem River. So, well, this turns into the Harlem River, but to the right of me is, you know, this is the Harlem River here. And to the left, on the other side of town, it's the the Hudson River. So this is the Harlem River and the Hudson River. Interesting story. Harlem River. There was a ship that had tons of people that was floating on, that was riding up the, like I'm driving, and I think the same amount of people that died in the Titanic died here. And there's a famous picture of all the bodies just lined up against the, like the pier area. And it was kind of crazy, the story. I think it even happened the same year as the Titanic, but it didn't get a lot of headlines. And I think that the niggers of that time were saying how it was because they were the niggers of their time that the headlines didn't come through. Because, you know, there has to always be a bottom. You know, no matter what happens, hey, no matter what happens, there has to be a bottom. Restaurants where the bottom kind of live and give them jobs too. And chosen this life. We've chosen to come down and live in this experience, this meat suit experience, right? Our soul made a conscious choice to go here, right here, to this place. Whatever this place is, our brains can't even comprehend it. If we try to understand it, our brains might pop. It's too much information. Too much information. We won't be able to understand it. But possibly our soul, possibly each individual life. Here we go. Here we go. Here's a thought. Each individual life, or each individual meat suit, has a separate soul and is responsible for that timeline on their own. So if I have an infinite amount of timelines, or do I have 360 timelines because I'm representing the 360 degrees circle? And what we know when we look in the sky and when we look around us, there's a lot of, you know, circular things that's going on here. The mathematics is pretty sound with that 360 degree. And that 360 degrees, possibly we have that many lives. And in each of those lives, what if each one of those lives has its own individual soul? That life force, the one that chose to say yes. See, I argue and I would always say that there's a war going on here between good and evil. And good and evil is the nerve of us to think we understand what that means. Good and evil. Because one man's good is another man's evil, and vice versa. You know, if my son hits his sister after I told him stop hitting your sister, so then I pop him, I'm using violence to teach him not to be violent. Which one is good and which one is evil? So we cannot understand this war. I would argue, and I have spoke on this part, where possibly possibly there is a force out there that is trying to kill us, trying to destroy us. And it's like no matter what you throw at us, the human body keeps adapting and fighting. No matter how much plastic you put in the McNuggets, you know, it's only a small portion of the people that are going to die from it or get cancer from it. Even though a lot of people are. And no matter what you do with, you know, with these cancer medications, because there's a lot of cancer medications that they have just stopped. You know, that didn't work, you know, this didn't work, this didn't kill cancer, this didn't do that. This actually affected people more, you know, like that AZT. You know, AZT was a cancer drug, and they gave that cancer drug to people that had a certain high levels of enzymes in a test. And that test was like, you know, telling people like, yo, you got HIV. What a lot of people didn't know was that that test was created to get basically it was like at least 20 different diseases fell underneath that. But if that test came up positive for you, they automatically put you on these cancer drugs. And if anybody ever looked up the cancer drugs, like the AZT drug, they would find out that every single person that ever took that for cancer died. You know, and they didn't know that what they were being given was killing them, because, you know, there was a huge cry out for like, yo, we need to fix this problem we got here. Everybody was scared. They promoted massive fear worldwide. The fear was like crazy. People were like so afraid, so distracted. You know, the same thing happened with the flu. Like, same thing happened with the flu shot. You know, get that flu shot, get that, you know, just pumping this fear. But the human body just keeps on kicking ass. The human body is pretty amazing. And it's hard to kill us. You know, it's really hard to kill us. The way, like, in other words, if something was to tragically happen or drastically happen, the human body's gonna adapt. Like, if let's say there was they released something, you know, 20, 30,000 people died. You know, that's a lot of people, but there's still millions and millions and millions of people that are gonna be like, wait a minute, whoa, whoa, whoa. You ain't gonna do us like the cows and brush right over this. All them cows right there that just turned up like that after what? What happened? Say what? Say what now? What you said? Say what now? So there's this group of people that have tried to take us out many different ways. Wars. 60 million people for the World War II. Yo, and I encourage anybody to take their children or go to Gettysburg, where they had that big fight where 50,000 American soldiers died. You gotta go over there. Yo, that thing is the size of the average park, man. You telling me that 50,000 people died right here, where I'm standing? I can see from right there to right there to right there. What? My God. They've created wars in little tiny pockets of spaces that just took out so many people in little sections. It's not, we're not talking about, like, if you look at, I took my kids also, we did an Americana tour. We're touring the whole country. And we did because I wanted my kids to know that, you see this country right here. And you look around, and I wanted them to see the stage. I wanted them to see this amazing damn stage that we're on, this paradise that we turned into a mall. I wanted my kids to see the paradise that we turned into a mall. And they learned a lot of things. This is when I was just waking up too. I didn't, come on, all this happened, I don't know. I don't even want to get into when this happened. I don't even know when it happened, but I'm here. I'm here. I'm talking about, yo, you guys have no idea. There was a time when, man, I was so disciplined. It was black and white. And there's a part of me that feels like my life was better. My life is so much better. That's so much fun, And making up fucking sucks, man. You think you woke? Yeah, okay. yeah, okay. You think you woke? Right. You ain't woke if you have not said to yourself, what the F? What the F am I doing here? What? Why? Like, why would they do this? Why would they do that? Why would they stage this? Why would they stage that? It makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. And you start going through whys for a few years, and then you start to realize, so what you don't know the damn whys? It is what it is. 2 planes knocked down 3 buildings, and we only got 18 shots of it. And there was 150,000 cameras recording it. No one ever even recorded the top, though. You never got it. All the helicopters were all around the 100th floor. Nobody ever went over the top. Why? Were there people on the top yelling and screaming? Were there hundreds of people that could have just got airlifted with a helicopter on the tops of these buildings? Because they were jumping off the sides. They were not jumping off the top. Because they had the whole thing chained up. The place was freaking chained up, man. They couldn't get out they couldn't go to the roof. The roof was, come on. But then yet you're told not to take shots of the top. Because, the top is where, you would have seen, you only see like the side. And I'm all over the place. Like bird shit. But I will say this. There's some sort of war. And they're trying their best to take us out. And I hate to say this, but when my son was conceived, I was afraid that my son had a 1 in 150 chance of having autism. And I was terrified about that. But you know, I didn't do any drugs at the time. I didn't smoke weed. I never took a bump. I never drank. You know, all I did was work. And non-stop, working. I know I make somebody rich. Put much passion, you know. That's why I would like to have a partner in this dispensary thing. You know, I work better with a partner. You know, than self-motivation that you're consuming the cannabis, or the cannabis takes off that passion a little bit, you know, just a little bit. And the weight takes a little away from the passion too sometimes, you know. So I'm working on that. I did my push-ups today. I'm on my push-up game. So let me just say that now if you try to have a child, it's like 1 in 50. 1 in 50 chance. That's ridiculous, man. I kept saying it gotta be in the coke. Gotta be in the coke. They gotta put it in the coke. Because everybody goes through that college and they try it. Everybody tries it when they're young. See, I was told 100% drug free. I didn't try anything until 8 years ago. And for 3 years, so 11 years. And then it was the third year when I was like, I'm gonna try this. I was growing it and everything. I had a whole grow house. I'd never tried it. After 3 years, and finally I was like, you know what, man, I'm gonna try this. I just kept meeting so many amazing people. I had to stop judging. I had to put that aside and say, yo, how can I be meeting all these people, all these amazing people, successful people, articulate people, well-to-do people, people in really, really great communities. It became pretty cool, man. And did it help with me waking up? Possibly, yes. Because I was totally not woke before it. Before it, the sky is blue. This is the time you get up, and this is the time you go to bed. And this is black and this is white. You lift yourself up by your bootstraps, you know. You work hard. Fucking 12 hours a day, like that's light. Psh, 12 hours a day. Psh, that's nothing. That's life. That was my life. I bust my ass for people. I wanted to always, like, you know, I always wanted to just go above and beyond. From the way the place, you know, I was in the bar business and all that before. You know, I always just wanted everything to be perfect. Aesthetically. You know, I cared a lot about that, you know. But there's a war going on that we can never understand the truth of what is good and what is evil. We have to live our truth because they're taking our souls. This is my point. Let's go local. It's so beautiful today. Let's go local.
Keep left. Prepare to keep left after 1,000 feet. Calculation. Take the second right.
And it was also there was a lot of things that led up to me so-called waking up. The so-called waking up. Because everybody thinks they woke. But I think that you're not truly woke until you wish you never was
calculation.
Woke. Because it's just now you're just crazy. Yeah, but then all the top people, all the top, I mean, we're talking about the top minds of the world are saying what I'm saying. But yet, I got my GED when I was 18 years old. I got my GED when I was 18 years old, and I was in a prison. Yeah, but you know what else?
400 feet, turn left. Then take the next left.
When I was in prison, they had started this program where every day they had group meetings. Every day there was group meetings. Let me make sure I'm going the right way. I should have pressed no toe or something like that. I think I dropped the ball with that.
The next left.
Oh, okay. I see what it's doing. It got to get me out. It has to get me out the ghetto first. Not saying that this is the ghetto. I'm saying that we're about to drive through one, I think. And then it'll be beautiful. Even though the ghettos are beautiful too. I love the ghettos. I have so much video. You guys got to check out my videos. You know, I have no titles here. Because all this stuff is just for who in the world is going to listen to this? Unless they truly bought into me.
Ride for 3 miles.
That's what this is about. This is about who's bought into me. And this is New Rock City. We're in New Rock City. There is a war going on. And we can never think we understand what good and evil means. We can't even comprehend it. That's why I would say like Scientology must be one of those kind of spots, because I heard Farrakhan is now a Scientologist. Because I heard like if you think if a person like me, right, the regular guy, GED, even though I did read a lot of books, but let's say I haven't read books in a long time. The Color of Law was the last book I read, and it took me like damn near 3 months to read it because I just couldn't even concentrate. I need to have like books read to me. So, but before that, from my teens, from 14 to 30 years old, I must have read like 200 books. I was really into reading a lot. Loved reading. And it did give me an edge because I didn't speak like anybody else around me. So, I was always, jacked out of my mind. Like, I was always, 180 pounds of just, solid, just muscle, just all everywhere, legs, just everything, like amateur bodybuilder style almost. And I was over 6 foot tall. You know what I mean? So, I spoke different. People used to just, so maybe the reading helped. I always use my imagination, reading spy novels and all that kind of stuff. And then I did read a lot of romance novels, though, because I was in so many institutions before I was 21 years old. That's how I used to get. That was the only way I could get, was I would have to read a Daniel Steele novel. I would have to read Hollywood Wives and Hollywood Husbands and all that, So that probably helped. Even though, I would say this though. Sorry, I'm just double checking my navigation. Oh, look at this. This is beautiful. There is a war going on, y'all. And it's about good and evil. And the nerve of us to think we understand what that means. But that's why I think, like, those Scientologists, they show people like what I was shown by, like, Red Silver J. Red Silver J is this YouTuber who was one of the people that woke me up. And he was on YouTube. And I used to throw like dinners at my house and have family come over, and I was like kind of like trying too hard maybe to wake people up, and I would play his videos, and we wouldn't go, it would just be one video and a discussion of the video. It wouldn't be like, here, let me give you 3 of these things here. I'm giving them the information about the guy's channel. And I would ask weeks, months later, hey, you ever checked out that Red Silver J guy that I showed you at the house? And they would laugh. And they were like, nah, I ain't checked that guy out. I'm like, oh, okay. Do you want to come see some more stuff from him? They're like, nah, I'm good, man. Come on. He had a good point, but I don't even remember what he had to say. Like, yo, dude, this system that we're in, it's not allowing. Oh, shit. I just had the craziest thought. No, that can't be. That's just such a weird thought. You see, thoughts are just weird. You get these things that just pop into your head. Don't just say the things that pop into your head. I always tell my son that. And, you know, I tell my daughter that. Don't just say the first thing that pops into your head. Think first. Think. And thoughts are evil. You know, thoughts are have you looking like you look beautiful. And right before you walk out the door, your thoughts will tell you that you look like shit. Thoughts are lies. Thoughts are part of this system. Thoughts are there to distract you from your points. It's best to just, like, when I do well with y'all is when I just am not even thinking about what I'm saying. When I'm going with the flow. Being my true self. Not the thoughts in my head self. This beautiful thing right here. Daytona. Not my style. I think I'm a Ford Bronco kind of a guy. 1984. As a daily driver, but I'm going with the Vemno brakes, and the whole new master cylinder. Might even throw a LS engine in there, heating, air conditioning. You know, I might swap out the chairs. Do that for a daily driver. It has to just perform like a new vehicle. But I wouldn't have taken it today for this ride. I would only use that locally. For this ride, I'll do the Genesis. The Stinger. Sedan, or the medium-sized one of the G-Line. Not the full one. I don't want to be driving a big SUV. But the next things I get, I am going to put some cams. I'm going to I'm gonna take the engines and take them and put them into like 600 horse on everything. I upgraded this a little bit. Just a light tune, hypothetically, maybe, possibly. I don't think I did it because that would void my everything. Like I'm just making a joke. See, not supposed to talk about. Then it just comes into your head. You see that, right?
The next right.
You see
Then take the next left.
See that? I have to learn. I have to grow. I can learn. I can't grow. I will learn. I will grow. I'll get better. You are appreciated for, kind of riding with me. Whenever you ride with me, maybe this might go private. Somebody recorded it, though. We know that. Let's not play that game. There's a part of me that it feels like this war between good and evil has
the
not
next left.
just begun. This war between good and evil has been around a long time. And we will adapt.
There's turn right in 0.4 miles.
We will adapt. And that's the crazy part. And the souls, no matter how many of these women they convince to not let their child go through that birth canal, there's something about going through that birth canal that has to mean something. Going through that birth canal has to mean something. And it's like they're pushing that C-section, and you thinking it's because they just want the extra 20 grand. Is that what it is? Or are they taking away some sort of fighting chance that you have? Because the minute you come out, they're hitting you with all kind of stuff. I know it's taboo and it's crazy to say that. But what you gonna do? So I guess my point is, you ain't woke until you wish you wasn't. That's why I think places like Scientology and those other, this is how they get over. This is how they get over. No, I am not going to play tennis. But my friend does have a tennis court in the back of his home. I've never played any tennis there. You are appreciated. And you know I love you. And I'm glad we had a chance to talk about good and evil, and how dare you try to think you know the difference. That should be my title. Good and evil, and how dare you think you know the difference. Because I'm going to argue you don't. That's what I'm going to argue. I'm going to argue that you do not know the difference. You are loved and appreciated. But I am cooking dinner for 6. And it's going to be glorious.